Great gospel music every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. All brought to you by the Ozona Pig Restaurant in Ozona. Yes, that's every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. It's Miss Sarah's Dynamic Gospel Power Show. Tune in on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hey, you new to the area or just want to know about the best hidden gems and upcoming events? Stay tuned. Be Local Buzz with Devin takes you to these places, introduces you to the best businesses, and tells you about upcoming buzz. Preset your radio to Tan Talk 1340 AM or 106.1 FM. That is the Be Local Buzz with Devin on Tan Talk 1340 AM and 106 FM. Looking forward to speaking with you.
It's the Be Local Buzz with Devin, Tuesdays from 4 to 5 p.m.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
It's now time for Connecting Caregivers with author, speaker, caregiver advocate, and talk show host Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for caregivers.
Caregivers around the world today. It's time to lift you up. It's time to celebrate. Good afternoon and welcome to Connecting Caregivers with me, Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregivers with love, laughter, and lessons learned. And on the boards, we have Mr. Ed today. How you doing, Ed?
Greetings.
Pretty lovely out, isn't it?
It's perfect.
I'm liking it. I like it when I could just open my window.
Mid-70s during the day, low 60s at night.
I could do this all year round.
I can even do that.
Yeah.
This is what we daydream about in July.
Yes.
This morning I went for my walk at 7 and it was 55 and my toes froze. So I like it.
Yeah, but it's good. And that other voice you hear is my best friend, my co-host, and my sidekick, not psychic, Lynn Thornley.
Good afternoon.
How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Good. I'm happy that we had a successful conference this week.
Oh my God.
We had over 600 in attendance. New information every time I learned something new from somebody. Voices of Hope for Aphasia was off the wall with the responses of people that learned things that they didn't know before. And that's what this whole thing is about, to bring that information to you easily, to bring that information to you free of charge, and for you to be able to use it time and time and again. So everyone who registered for the conference will receive all the videos of the conference within 30 days. Because people would be emailing me like the next day and say, I just saw one thing, but I want to see another one, but I'm a caregiver. I'm like, don't worry about it. We have you covered.
And don't worry about it if you didn't sign up, because next time you sign up and get them.
Well, the next one is May 6th, 7th, and 8th, 2026. We already have half the slate booked. But like I say, it's just bringing out more information that needs to get out there. Because, lots of times what happens is you get a diagnosis. The doctor says your loved one has Parkinson's or dementia or whatever it is. And I'll see you next month. Not where to get resources, where to learn about it or anything like that. And if you Google, you're going to learn some stuff, but it can be so totally overwhelming. But if you come to my resources and come to Linda Burhans, you're going to get straight to the facts where the information is. And if you have any questions about anything, you can always email me through the website. And if I don't have the answer, I promise you I will find someone who does. I'm very blessed to be in this Tampa Bay area where professionals really want to work together, and not just the Tampa Bay area, everywhere, and make a difference in the lives of our caregivers. When I first started doing this like 18 years ago, I was one of the only girls on the block. I'm glad we have a whole neighborhood now. And there's a lot of really good stuff going on. So with me, I have my friend Arlene Grosso and Lori Collins today.
Hey.
How you doing, girls? You got your mics? Yeah.
We're all good.
I'm so glad that you're here today. We're going to talk about a project called Samaritan's Feet. Is Deborah on the line yet?
Did you welcome your new listeners?
Oh, excuse me. Before I do that, Lynn's reminding me of my duties. I have to give a shout out to our newest listeners. We have Serena in Clearwater, Jackie in Largo, and Faith in Seminole. And Faith just became a listener like 2 weeks ago.
Welcome, lady.
Welcome. Okay, Deborah, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you all? I'm jealous about your weather. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, where it's overcast and raining. So I heard you guys talk about your great Florida weather, and I'm jealous.
Well, I think you just need to come visit us.
Hey, okay. Deborah, we wanted you to talk about how Samaritan's Feet got started, and then I'll talk a little bit about the event, and Lori will talk about her experience in volunteering.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you all, Linda. I just love what you do. This is the second time I've been on your broadcast, and really just love all the information that you give out. It's so needed, and I know that your listeners appreciate that. So hats off to you.
Thank you.
I am the senior director of senior programs for Samaritan's Feet International. Samaritan's Feet is a global nonprofit. We have been in existence for 23 years. We serve in 113 countries and over 630 U.S. cities, 45 states, and that's growing, especially our domestic programs are really growing. I came on board in April of 21. Our founder's from Nigeria. He never had a pair of shoes until he was 9 years old. And a good Samaritan from Wisconsin came to his basketball park in Laos and said, whatever child hits this shot, you're going to get a new pair of shoes. Well, our founder hit the shot.
Wow.
Make a long story short, he ended up getting 5 scholarships to play basketball in the United States. He came to the United States, played basketball. North Dakota University, why he picked the coldest state, I have no idea, but anyhow. He became a very successful entrepreneur, and in 2003, he went back to Nigeria to bury his father. And he saw children with footborne diseases, amputation, no shoes, and it reminded Manny that he never had any shoes either. So he and his wife, Tracy is from North Dakota, decided they would create a world with 0 shoeless children. Well, let's fast forward to April of Martin Luther King Day in April of 2017. I was the director for AmeriCorps Seniors for the federal government. I volunteered for this organization called Samaritan's Feet. I had no idea what they did. And I will tell you that my whole life changed that day. After my term was over with the government, Manny called and said, what are you doing next? And I said, you're missing a whole demographic, and that is our aging population. So I came on board Samaritan's Feet. We created what we call Samaritan's Feet Seniors in April of 2021. And we have a prototype shoe that is lightweight, anti-slip, anti-skid, Velcro closing tennis shoe that helps the seniors with mobility, keeps them safe in their home, lets them still be active in the community. And I'm very proud of this program. In the 3 years we've existed, we've distributed over 25,000 pairs of shoes to seniors across the United States.
3 years.
Yes.
It's crazy.
And I have to say that the Florida Falls Free Coalition and Arlene, Grosso, and Lori and their leadership has just helped us so much in Florida. We are very, very active in Florida. And so we're very appreciative. And I'm going to let them talk about the event on December 4th. But I have to say we couldn't do this without folks like Arlene and Lori and Linda. You've supported us a couple times.
Takes a village.
Also, our partners, we will be doing this distribution due to a grant from Better Living for Seniors in St. Petersburg. What a great organization. Donations by Power Design, and of course, again, Falls Free Florida Coalition. So I'd be happy to share any more information. If you want to know more, you can go to www.samaritansfeet.org/seniors. But we'd love to see you in St. Petersburg, and I'm going to let Arlene and Lori talk about that.
Thank you so much, Deborah. We certainly appreciate you. Deborah also coordinated in Tampa. We had 2 shoe distributions with the YMCAs there, and Dawn Keita, who's the regional manager for the metropolitan YMCAs in Hillsborough County, held those 2 events, and it was just awesome. I was able to, that was the first time I had been to an event, and I really wanted to be able to get it to St. Petersburg too. So we're going to be doing a lot more, hopefully in 2026, Deborah. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
I hope so too. And I just want to remind everyone, this mission is very personal for me. My father fell 2 years ago, and he did not survive the fall. 32,000 Americans die each year just from falling. And so what little part we can play, I think this is why this is so important. And we are really proud and honored to partner with Falls Free Florida.
Well, when you think there are seniors that don't have a good pair of shoes, it breaks your heart. And that can make a difference in a person's life.
Well, if they have a choice between food, medicine, or shoes will be the last choice.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And especially in Florida, I'll just do a flip flop.
Yeah,
or a slipper. Or
extremely dangerous.
Yes.
So, but on December 4th at the Enoch Davis Recreation Center in St. Petersburg, it's at 1111 18th Avenue South. St. Petersburg seniors will be able to come to the event and get a new pair of shoes. They need to pre-register, and I can give you that link. Sorry, I have to put my glasses on so I can see it. Oh, there's only a QR code.
All right, we'll get the link.
Okay, so Linda will post the link and the QR code on her website. And what will happen is because you can register, we'll make sure that we have the right size shoe for you.
And enough shoes.
And enough shoes, correct. We have over 200 pairs of shoes to give away. And we're extremely excited because when we were at the Tampa shoe giveaway, it was amazing how people came in and the quality of shoe that they had on their feet at the time. There was a man who was having difficulty walking across the gymnasium to the area where we were registering people for the shoe giveaway. And I went up to him and helped him and said, "Let me help you." And he says, "I'm sorry." He said, "I had to wear my wife's shoes because I didn't have anything to come here with." And his feet were actually hanging out of the shoe. So it's extremely sad, but like Deborah and Lori will tell you, when you see something like that, it gives you such humility, and it gives you such a good feeling that you're going to be able to give something stable. That person's going to walk with confidence. It prevents so many falls having a good, solid shoe on your foot. So many seniors are isolated because they don't have a good pair of shoes to go out in.
Yeah.
So it really helps with the isolation, but mainly our concern, of course, with Falls Free Florida is that it really helps to reduce falls. And that's what we're really concerned greatly about. But we're so excited about this. And like I said, we're planning to have a lot of other events next year, hopefully all throughout the state of Florida. But if you know anyone who lives in St. Petersburg, come to the Enoch Davis Recreation Center on December 4th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we're going to give you a great pair of shoes and make sure that they fit well and send you on your way. And you're going to go away with a big smile. I promise you.
Yeah, and I'll put the link in the show and I'll get that information. So, Lori, you volunteered.
And Linda, I think it's important that we do repeat this, that registration for shoes is required.
That's what I was going to say, because I have a big foot and they would never have my. No, it's true. They never had my size anywhere.
So can you tell me what the link is, Deborah?
I don't know why it's not on the
There's
flyer.
only a QR code on the flyer.
Actually, you must call. You can sign up at any local City of St. Petersburg Park and Rec Center.
Okay.
Or they have a QR code on a flyer that they created. That's not a Samaritan issued QR code.
Okay.
So you have to sign up through the City of St. Petersburg Park and Rec.
Okay. All right. That's good. All right. So, Lori, you volunteered at one of these events recently, right?
I did. And so I was.
Tell me the story.
Well, and we had people that were fitting shoes. So besides the shoes, you get a tote bag full of information, and then you also get a pair of socks. So you get all of that to go with the shoes. So it is important that you fit it properly. So even though you're a size 8, you might wear a size 9 or you might wear a size 10. So it's important to make sure that the volunteers that we have work with that person to make sure they're fitted properly. But again, how many people come in with the flip-flops and the things that are easy to slip on because maybe they can't bend over or maybe they can't tie their shoe. So these are Velcro. And so it's super good to be able to slip your shoes in and be able to just Velcro it over and have a stable shoe. Since I started doing falls prevention work in 2017, I haven't wore a pair of flip-flops yet. So I am
I'm
always
not going to answer that.
You had to wear socks this morning. I know it. You should have wore socks with your
Yeah, but when you have my size foot and can't get the shoe.
But tell me about some of the experiences of the people there that came in.
Well, I think, again,
it's a very humbling.
The reason why, again, we have a volunteer that will help fit them, help put the shoe on, make sure it's good, have them stand up, take a look at it. Again, it's just so that it's a proper fit. You know, in the past, we used to go to shoe stores and they would fit you with shoes and they would measure you, and every shoe's a little different, you know. So that's why it was so good to have somebody there who can fit them, can make sure that's appropriate, make sure it's not, if the foot's wider, let's get you a different shoe. Is it fit perfectly? So
Well, and you might even be able to detect a little issue with somebody and say, you know what, maybe you need to go to a podiatrist.
exactly.
Right.
Or something when maybe no one else would have even seen their feet or been able to give them any advice about that.
When
And
you
the
were
things-
kids, they used to x-ray our feet when we went in the shoe store.
Remember? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
And
Buster Brown.
you saw your foot bones.
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
that's our age, Shauna.
Yeah. No, I think but it was fun. It was enjoyable. It was so busy too, trying to get everybody in and get them registered, then get them sat down. And then you had to run back and forth with the shoes and make sure you had the right size. And so I'm a pretty good shoe slipper now. So back and forth. So but it was nice to have them walk in, maybe not as able, and walk out very capable.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
And I bet you some of those people, nobody even paid that much attention to them in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because sometimes you just have people that are isolated because they don't have the footwear, isolated for different things of mobility issues, and they never leave the house.
Or they get a pair of shoes, or they're in the shoe shop and they just fit themselves and they go, oh, this is the best I'm going to get. And they walk out.
Yeah.
And it's not a great fit. So the fact that we can fit them great is what to me is the important part, is fitting a shoe that's going to help them walk.
Well, and then they'll feel the
safely.
difference.
Mhm.
Yeah. And be more
Absolutely.
stable. But, seniors tend to have a lot of pride. And if they don't have a good pair of shoes, or if their shoes are shabby or not fitting well, that's where the isolation comes in.
Yeah.
So it's such a great feeling to know that when they leave there, they're going to walk out and they
Feeling
stand
proud.
so much taller when
Yeah.
they leave. It's an amazing experience.
Well, you stand so much taller when you're not fearful of falling.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
When you're not feeling. So what kind of instruction do they have after this? Because that one pair of shoes is not going to last forever.
If I could interject, Linda, I think you made a very good point. To me, the shoes are just a tool. It's more about hope and dignity and giving back to those seniors that have given so much to us, to give them an opportunity to network, to get them an opportunity to be engaged in the community. So to me, the shoes are just a tool. I think you made a very good point there, Linda.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe some of those people never would have left their house before.
Exactly.
Now they go, oh, darn, someone's going to give me a new pair of shoes and maybe I'll be able to walk better.
Mhm.
I'll go to that one.
Yes.
I'll go to that one. And I'm sure many of their families are just happy because sometimes you can't tell your mom or dad or whoever what kind of shoes they need. They don't want to hear it from you,
No.
from their kids or from whatever. But if an organization is telling them and they're giving it to them for free,
Right.
that's a big deal.
That's where our wonderful sponsors come in.
So who are some of your sponsors?
It was Better Living for Seniors, Pasco.
So tell our listeners what Better Living for Seniors is.
It's an organization through the Area Agency on Aging for Pasco Pinellas, and it is dedicated to helping seniors. We raise money in the form of grants to different senior organizations for the purpose of helping seniors.
And fundraisers like Hearts and Hope.
Fundraisers, right. So it's really, I would have to say it's the fundraising arm of the Area Agency on Aging. And last year they gave, I think, nearly $25,000 in grants away.
So fabulous.
And we were lucky enough, Deborah had applied, and we were lucky enough to be able to receive enough money for some of these shoes. And then at a commission for aging in St. Petersburg, I asked the commission if anyone would want to sponsor, the shoe drive. And one of the commission members raised her hand. She says, I can ask my company.
Yippee! We love that.
And thank you to Sherry Herod from Power Design. Deborah, because she's the 501c3 arm, of course, applied for that. And we got money from them. So
somebody who's listening out there, you might want to sponsor the next shoe drive.
That's right. In 2026, we would be more than happy to work with you and certainly give you an opportunity to really feel great for giving seniors a chance for confidence, a chance for falls prevention, and a chance, to just simply feel good that somebody really cares about them.
Yeah. So if you have some funds in your company and you want to do something like that, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the different ways we can do it. If you have a big company, you have some space, we may be able to do it right on your premises. So let's see what we have there. You know, a lot of the large companies, I used to work as a corporate trainer. And I would go into these large companies and let's just say Verizon. And they got a gym there. And they have daycare for children. And I want to know why they don't have adult daycare.
Yeah.
I want to know why they don't have more things for our seniors. I think the companies have to start realizing this. People are losing productivity. People are losing work time because they're worried about mom. If I could bring mom to work with me and she could go to adult daycare, maybe I come down and see her at lunch or maybe I don't, depending. And then take her home with me. You know how much that would be for everybody? So I'm hoping some of these companies are starting to think more of our senior population because it may not be directly your employees, it may be their parents.
Well, and look at the productivity that employee would give back to that company if they didn't have to worry about mom being 20 miles away.
Yeah. Well, I was even talking to Disney before COVID came because I did some corporate training at Disney. Well, same thing. Why can't I bring mom to the park? Mom can go and hang out with us for a while. Then mom could go to an adult daycare there where she can chill out, where she can rest, where she's not, it's not too much for her. It's not too hot for her. And then we go back and get her later. Come on.
Yeah.
We have places to bring your dog.
They have a dog kennel there. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So what are you thinking about that, Deborah?
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I think we got to be proactive here. So thank you so much for being with us today, Deborah. As always, I will continue to promote Samaritan's Feet as much as I can. And I hope to meet you in person in the future.
I hope so too. And I thank you so much. I mean, this year alone in Florida, thanks to many of you on the call, and we've distributed over 3,500 pairs of shoes across the state of Florida. We hope to increase that in 2026. And so, Arlene,
I think we
Lori,
will increase that. We don't hope to. We will.
I love that. I love the way you think. So thank you so much for having me on here. And just so y'all know, Tampa in Florida is my adopted hometown. I lived there for 25 years. So I feel like I'm doing this in my own backyard.
Nice. Come back.
Thank you, everyone, so much.
Happy
we so
Thanksgiving.
Appreciate you and have a blessed Thanksgiving. We are certainly thankful for you.
And now it's time to hear from our wonderful partners because you know the deal. If you don't hear from them, you don't hear from me. So don't go away. We'll be right back on Connecting Caregivers Radio.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Arden Courts is not just a place to live. It's a place to call home. Residential living combined with quality caregiving. This is the philosophy behind Arden Courts. Communities created exclusively for individuals with Alzheimer's disease and related dementia who would benefit from a safe and structured environment. For additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides, call 888-478-2410 to locate a community nearest you. Inquire about our educational seminars, resource library, or support groups, or simply feel free to ask questions you may have about Alzheimer's and related dementias. At Arden Courts, we know, we understand, and we can help because memory care is all we do. Remember, call 888-478-2410 for additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides.
Are you getting older, or are you taking care of somebody who is? You know, getting older creates new problems you probably never imagined. One of the big ones is, how do you pay for care? Care in your home, care in an assisted living facility, or care in a nursing home. Did you know that nursing home care in our community can cost up to $12,000 per month? For the last 33 years, our office has helped families access benefits, including Medicaid, VA, and PACE, to help pay for the cost of long-term care. Regardless of what your assets are or what your income is, you can qualify for these benefits. Proper planning and guidance are absolutely necessary to avoid being wiped out. Let us help. If you are in care or heading in that direction, we can help solve that problem. Take action now to obtain benefits to pay for the cost of care. Here are the 4 things that you need to do. 1, get a new power of attorney. Your old one probably isn't good enough. Get a healthcare surrogate and a living will. 3, get an estate plan that will not disqualify you from benefits. And 4, Get a plan to qualify for Medicaid, PACE, or VA benefits to pay for the long-term care costs. Call us today for a free consultation, 727-539-0181, or go to flmedicaid.com and download our free book on Medicaid and planning for long-term care. I'm Sean Scott. I'm here to help.
Guaranteed to make you laugh through your tears, Linda Burhan's book, Good Night and God Bless, is filled with humor and heartfelt inspiration to aid anyone facing the challenge of caring for a loved one at the end of life. Her story offers hope for human strength and understanding of weaknesses during a difficult time. Life doesn't normally prepare us to become a loved one's caregiver. When it happens, it's usually sudden. A diagnosis of an illness, age-related frailty, dementia, and life suddenly is anything but normal. And because we don't even know what we don't know, where do we turn to for help or guidance? In Connecting Caregivers, Answers to the Questions You Didn't Know You Needed to Ask, Linda offers information, education, and inspiration from her own experience and from experts whose advice, practical tools, and personal stories will empower and guide you. Make sure to add these inspiring books to your collection today. Available on Amazon.com.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
And we are back. That was so very exciting, that conversation. You know, I'm looking forward to the event in December, on December 4th. I'm looking forward to doing some more stuff in Florida. So you hear these conversations, talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends, talk to your boss, and let's see what we can do to help more seniors have shoes that fit them properly, that does not isolate them, that gives them the opportunity to stand up straight and walk and feel good. So before we go any further, Lori, since you volunteered, just tell me what some of those people said when they got a pair of shoes, or what their reaction was.
Most of the time, their reaction was, oh my gosh, these feel good. These feel safe. These feel like I can walk better. So the anti-slip is a big part of it too. And so everything together was just a gratitude of knowing that the shoes fit, having somebody actually fit them on their shoes.
Exactly.
And a lot of people, we had to get down and take their socks off, put new socks on, or put socks on in general, and then be able to fit them. And so it was such a blessing to have them stand up and go, I don't feel right. Okay, let's try another pair. And then we would run another pair of shoes to them and they would try those on. And one person I know, we went back and forth with like 5 pairs of shoes until they said, no, this feels right. Because they hadn't felt a right pair of shoes.
Right. And who does that? Because, all the seniors, they buy their shoes in Walmart.
Exactly.
And it's with a standard, whatever it is. And
yeah.
And if you wear a size 8, I guarantee you that that's a tremendous difference in every type of shoe.
Yeah.
So in one shoe, you're an 8, in one shoe, you're a 9, in one shoe, you're 7.5. So it really depends on the manufacturer. So when they go buy their shoes at a box store, they may or may not even try them on. Then when they get home, there you go. You've got a pair of shoes that don't fit, but they've spent the money on them. So again, now each one of these
they're either
shoes,
not wearing them or they're wearing them and they're hurting their feet.
Mm-hmm. And so we did have a lot of people who had improper fitting shoes that when they left, we said, do you want to put your shoes on or do you want to leave these shoes on? And they went, oh no, please leave these shoes on.
Yeah.
And so it was just nice.
Yeah,
it was very nice.
So recently you retired from 911.
I did.
And that's when we got involved a lot with the Falls Prevention and the Falls Coalition. But now there's something new going on with you. So let's talk about Wee Woo.
So the Wee Woo Kids Crew. So my entire career was doing fire and life safety education. And so I did that from children all the way up to seniors. And so when I retired, I thought I still want to do it. So I just created the Wee Woo Kids Crew, and we've got a really fun logo that's created by an artist friend of mine who actually did our Steps to Senior Safety book.
Oh, wow.
And she did that, Lee Burgess did that because her dad had fallen and didn't survive. Oh. And so, again, it meant a lot to her as well, to be able to go out and promote fall prevention. Look, even Ace from KISS just died from a fall.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how much money you've got. If you fall,
Yeah.
you might not survive it. And so again, I love working with kids, and I'm really good. And I start teaching children about emergencies. We talk about the word, we talk about police, fire, medical. And of course, my son's in the sheriff's office and my other son is a nurse at All Children's. So I've got a whole bunch of public safety people in my family. But we go out and we talk to children, again, starting at 2 years old, because I think if you went to your grandchild or your great-grandchild, they would show you stuff on the phone you didn't even know they knew how to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I know.
I was showing my grandson a picture, a two-year-old grandson, and I was showing him a picture, and he double tapped the picture and it expanded. I went, oh, how'd you know how to zoom? He goes, Grandma.
Yeah.
And so I
Isn't that
said,
amazing?
so again, they know how to get in your phone. They know how to get in and go to YouTube and find their channels and do all this stuff, but they also should be taught how to call
safe.
for an emergency.
Right.
So we go in and talk about what an emergency is. We talk about the numbers, and then depending on the level.
What do you
of
mean
the
you talk about
kids,
the numbers?
911.
Okay.
Good
Not
point. Yeah.
9/11.
Yeah.
Because we used to always say 9/11 until they told us the kids couldn't find 11 on the phone.
Well, and I
Oh.
used to say, do
Oh.
you know what 911 is for? And the kids would say 9114. 9114. And I went, okay, I can't say that. So over time, you have to be careful what you say. And at the same time, you have to be very specific about police, fire, medical, why you would call them. Because again, I don't want to scare kids.
Right.
I don't want to make them, I say if somebody's, if there's a stranger you don't know, then you don't want to go talk to them. So maybe you have an adult call 911, or maybe if somebody's sick, maybe your grandma's sick. And so maybe you call 911 and have the paramedics come out and help. So we kind of build on it. I have pictures that I show
Because
the
I
kids.
think a lot of parents don't talk to their kids about that. They just don't think about talking, not that they're neglectful or anything. They just don't think about it. Oh,
Sure.
She's only 2. Does she really need 911?
Well, and let me tell you, in Pinellas County, we had our youngest child documented that we had was 18 months old.
Oh my God.
And the mom was a brittle diabetic. And so she had taught her child on the home phone how to pick it up and press 911. And she had a red dot on the 9 and 2 red dots on the 1. So she practiced. She would unplug the phone and she would practice with a child. Well, she passed out from a diabetic episode. She called 911. All we heard was babbling. We just heard a baby. We didn't really hear anything. So we sent out a police officer as a priority dispatch. They were banging on the door. And the child opened the curtain a little bit and they saw her mom on the thing. They broke the door down and saved her mom.
Wow.
So again, because we know where you are, whether you're on a home phone or cell phone, we
Can
know
you tell
where you
on
are.
a cell phone
Yep,
now?
about 5 feet around where you're standing. So, and the 5G, actually, we can tell you what level you're at, like in a high rise or whatever. So there's different
That's
ways
amazing.
that we can find where you are. So again, we were just talking yesterday. I was talking to a mobile home park, a manufactured home park. And we were talking about contacting emergency service and when you would call. And I said, boy, if you hear your fire alarm go off, call 911 immediately. Even if you don't tell us, we're going to hear that fire alarm in the background. We're going to know where your address is and we're going to start getting help on the way. You get yourself out, right? Grab your pet, get out, and then talk to the operator on the phone. So there's a lot of different things that we can do. But with children, more often than not, you can build on their knowledge at an early level. So what I tell people and parents to do or grandparents to do is, especially if you spend time with your grandchildren or your great-grandchildren, you really need to let them know, hey, grandma may not feel good and here's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Or if grandpa's sitting in his chair and he can't get up, here's what you need to do.
Yeah.
And so you teach them how to slide open the phone. So you can generally, if you have your phone locked, right, you can slide it up and there's a little button that says emergency call. And you tap that and it comes with a screen with the dial pads and you can dial 911 send. Now that's the other thing to teach children is dial 911 send.
Yeah, just sound
because well, you can dial all the numbers, but nothing happens until you press send. And so I talk to kids about 911 send. Now, some parents will absolutely not let their children around cell phones. Okay, but that's fine until you get injured or they have a house phone or sometimes. And then there's other parents that let their kids play with their phone.
Right.
And again, that can also be an issue because, if you tap the side of your phone, the button on your side of your phone 5 times, it automatically calls 911.
No.
Yeah.
I better
So
stop because I don't know how to do something.
But you know what? If it's in your cup holder in your car,
Oh my
it
God.
can
and
go
bangs
back and forth. Then it
Wow.
automatically calls 911. And we don't know what's going on, but we hear in the back, we hear a radio, we hear people talking, we may be whatever.
You think there's a car accident or something.
And then we don't know. So again, at one point at 911 a couple of years ago, there was 41% of the calls to 911 were open lines.
Wow.
So when they had that feature come out with the being able to access the emergency help quicker.
But no one knows about it.
Well, and we're trying to teach people. So what
good is to have it even?
Right. So we're trying to teach people to turn that feature off or to enable the feature where you can extend it, where you can make it 15 seconds, and then it gives you the chance to stop it.
Yeah.
So, but for example, like when in a ski slope area, they had a huge problem with that because people had it in their pockets inside of their ski stuff and whatever. They're skiing along and all of a sudden their pocket accidentally calls 911. And so they were having a whole bunch of calls to the ski park. So they have a sign now that says, turn off your cell phone when you're in the thing because it automatically calls 911 accidentally. And so they were having some false calls. So those are some things that
the phone companies would have talked to 911.
I tell you, the day that they did the phone upgrade is when we started seeing spikes in open line calls. And so when I talk to kids, I teach them about a cell phone. We teach them how to slide it open and get to the unlock screen or get to the screen where you can hit emergencies. We also talk when to call and when not to call, so we talk about police situations. We talk about fires. And again, with children, I never say your house is on fire. I say, oh, you look out the window in your neighbor's house. We should get them help. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
But so it's been fun. We have the Wee Woo Kids crew, and I was so honored because the Seminole Kiwanis, I did a presentation for them and they read stories. So I was able to give them some storybooks and they actually gave me a donation to support the program. So I'm so excited because we're designing some color sheets and we're going to be able to print those out.
And we want to get this information out.
We want to, yeah. So in October is Fire Prevention Month. So I spent all of October. I think I had 3 open days, but in October I went to preschools.
I love going to preschools.
I love that. So it was super fun. And in April, we're going to do summer safety. So we've got a whole bunch of preschools signed up for summer safety programs. So I go in, I do it by classroom.
So let's talk a little bit about summer safety. What is summer safety?
So summer safety for the kids is we drink a lot of water. Mm-hmm. We wear our sunscreen. We make sure we have our parents nearby or our grownups nearby, that we don't run off, we stay in the area. And then also we talk about water safety, never swim alone. We talk about the different strategies. We talk about life jackets. We talk about being at Grandma and Grandpa's house with a pool. You don't go in until there's a grown-up that watches you and says it's okay. So whether they're in the pool or watching you, they have to have their eyes on you because, again, you don't know when something happens, or maybe you're trying to get out of the pool and you grab onto a chair leg and it falls on you and now you're trapped underwater by this heavy chair. So again, you always have to have a grown-up nearby. So I think
that's good to give them an example because kids are fearless. Mm-hmm. I don't need grandma. I could just jump in the pool. Absolutely. Not thinking, what if a chair fell on me?
And for grandparents, we also talk about if you have a pool, besides the fencing,
grandparents got to pay attention too.
Exactly. And we tell them never leave toys in the pool because the kids are going to try to get to the edge and they're going to try to scoot over, and then that's when they fall in. So we talk about all of those things, and we reinforce with the school and the kids, we reinforce playground safety. So many injuries happen on playground safety. So I tell them, whether you're at the park or whether you're at a friend's backyard or whether you're at the preschool, do we have safety rules? Do we follow the safety rules? And then the teachers will generally go, he doesn't and she doesn't. And I say, okay, well, you guys, you really don't want to have to go. And I show the ambulance again. I go, you don't want to go in an ambulance. So, but again, it's
kids are smart.
Kids are smart. And like you said, we're trying to make them understand that, when you actually, if you're safer, then you can do more things.
Yeah.
So for example, I always ask the teachers, I'll say, what's the first thing you get when you go to the hospital? And they go, oh, you get a shot or you get a bandage or I go, no, you get a deductible. So if you get a deductible, that means we have less Christmas presents. So I always tell the kids, do you want more birthday presents or do you want more Christmas or do you want to go to the hospital? Because that's what you're going to pay for. And so being with the Wee Woo Club, it's just kind of fun. And of course, with all the kids, we start out with, do you want to be part of the Wee Woo Kids crew? And they go, what is that? I go, what does an ambulance say? And they go, oh, wee woo, wee woo. Does a fire truck say wee woo, wee woo?
Oh, I didn't know that was the name
exactly.
was from.
See? So it's just fun. And again, it was really nice because we went to the Great American Teach-In. So I was at Starkey Elementary with my grandson in VPK. So we had it, but it was fun to stick my head out the door and there's a police car right there, a sheriff's office car. And that was my son. So my son was out there. So we took a couple of cute pictures and, it was nice. And of course, what I always say is that, police officers are your friends, and
yes,
so.
Because some children don't believe that.
And I always say, I said, and I show a picture of Josh in his uniform and I say, so does this officer look little or big? And they say, oh, big. And I said, does he look mean or nice? Oh, he looks nice. I said, does he look like me? Because this is my son. And then I always tell him, I said, listen, I told him when he started to be nice. I said, you be nice to the children or I'll put you in timeout. And so the kids laugh and then we do the same
But
thing.
nobody talks to kids about a cop like that.
Mm-hmm. And then we talk and then he's holding his baby Noah, his little son. And so I said, look, he's a daddy. All these guys are daddies and mommies. And then at the same time, if they have the ambulance, I show a picture of Nathan and I go, look, Nathan. And you know what I told him when he started? And they're like, you be nice to the children. I go, right. And then I always say, would I put a nurse on timeout? I go, no, again, I got a deductible, right? So I got my deductible in my son, right? So I don't have to go. But those are some things that we do with the kids. And so it's fun to have part of my family also in public service. So, and it's
great educating kids.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because Josh went to Pinellas Park High School, the magnet program for law enforcement, then was hired by the sheriff's officer. So he just turned 40 years old. And next March, he will have 20 years in the sheriff's office. He's a lieutenant now. And so super proud of him.
She's not a proud mama.
Super proud of Nathan.
Should be.
Yeah, she should be.
So he works at All Children's. Now he had a craniotomy at All Children's when he was 15. And now he's back working there as a critical care nurse on the flight
It's
team.
wonderful how things turn around. With Kiwanis, we have family fun fishing where we supply the poles, the bait. And years ago, there was this boy that came there all the time. He used to catch a lot of fish. And then he aged out. He was 13 or whatever. And then he came back for like a year or two and helped with fishing. And then we never saw him again. He came 2 weeks ago with his wife and 2 children.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my heart. and now he's going to join our Kiwanis group. How cool is that?
Yeah.
So,
That's
how
awesome.
things turn around and you do the right thing and you teach and you guide children. They'll go the right way.
And if you don't see it now, you might see it when they come back with their 2 kids and whatever. So,
well, it's like so my granddaughter joined Kiwanis recently. And so I had to pin her and they said, tell us why you joined Kiwanis. She goes, my grandmother's the speaker, not me. I said, just say something, whatever. And she said, all those years I volunteered with my grandmother.
Yeah.
I want to be part of my community. I want my children to be part of my community. I was so proud. I want my children to be, but that's what communities are about.
Exactly.
When I first joined Kiwanis, they had just started letting women in.
Yeah.
It was a big deal because I remember it was like my second year in. I was working on a project trying to get 100 women in 100 days. But I remember when I got invited to the first meeting, there was a whole bunch of men there and everything. And I thought, I feel like I'm having breakfast with my dad. There were men of integrity.
Mm-hmm.
There were some of the pillars of our community.
Mm-hmm.
They pulled out my chair for me. It was a whole, and that's what these civic organizations, a lot of them are. They're just people that care.
Yep.
And the more we can have that community together, why not? Why not? But right now it's time to hear from our wonderful partners. So don't go away. We'll be right back on Connecting Caregivers Radio.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Choosing the right chiropractor is an important choice to make. Located in Seminole, the Alexander Spine Center team is trained on the latest chiropractic treatments and technologies. At Alexander Spine Center, you'll find chiropractic and physical therapy care that is safe, effective, and a natural approach to pain and other health-related issues. Chiropractic unlocks your body's potential and natural healing process to ensure your life is a healthy life. We treat clients from the womb to the tomb. Call 727-397-3000 for a free consultation today, or visit our website at www.alexanderspinecenter.com.
They take good care of me twice a week, so check them out.
Arden Courts is not just a place to live. It's a place to call home. Residential living combined with quality caregiving. This is the philosophy behind Arden Courts. Communities created exclusively for individuals with Alzheimer's disease and related dementia who would benefit from a safe and structured environment. For additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides, call 888-478-2410 to locate a community nearest you. Inquire about our educational seminars, resource library, or support groups, or simply feel free to ask questions you may have about Alzheimer's and related dementias. At Arden Courts, we know, we understand, and we can help because memory care is all we do. Remember, call 888-478-2410 for additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides.
We believe the power of the human body and mind can do amazing things, and that tapping into that power, not just tricking it with a temporary disguise, is possible. Superpatch technology uses a special pattern and vibrotactile technology to help you go from feeling blah to hurrah. Now, once the Superpatch is in contact with your skin, it triggers a neutral response in the brainstem that helps you tackle your daily problems head on. Whether you're struggling with pain, balance, stress, or focus, we have a solution that might be right for you. With Superpatch's 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Hi, this is Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregivers. I started using the Liberty Patch over 3 years ago. I used to be a tripper, but since wearing the Liberty Patch, I haven't tripped once. The Liberty Patch is proven to reduce the risk of falling by up to 8 times. And as we all know, if you prevent the fall, you prevent the call. Don't wait until it's too late. Preventative solutions are the answer.
Superpatch does not claim to diagnose, treat, or cure illness. Superpatch is FDA registered. To receive 25% off your first order, go to sticktoit.info. That's sticktoit.info and learn more.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
And we are back. So we were just talking during break. Let's talk about some Christmas ideas, gifts for the holiday, Lori.
Boy, I tell you, this is the best time if you're a senior. Don't wait for them to get you something you don't need. So
yeah, another candle,
another something. But you know what I would ask for if I were you? And get smoke alarms. One of the things we recommend is a smoke alarm in every room in your house. And why? Because if half the rooms I don't even go into anymore, right. I've got stuff stored in there, whatever. But I don't know if something was smoldering there, if something was happening, if there was an electrical issue. The minute an alarm went off, at the first wisp of a smoke, I would be able to grab my dog, get outside, call 911. A fire doubles in size every 3 to 5 minutes. So you'd have
every 3 to 5 minutes.
Every 3 to 5 minutes. But our average response time in Pinellas County is 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
So it's already doubled.
So it's doubled, but the sooner you know it's there. Mm-hmm. So most of the time they put one outside of your sleeping area and then one in the in the kitchen. Now I have one on top of my fridge and it's a 10-year battery. So all my smoke detectors are 10 years. I don't even worry about batteries anymore. So, but I put one on top of the fridge. So in case I forget something, then the smoke alarm will go off. And because what was the first thing, the number one cause of fires in Pinellas, and I would say in the rest of the area, is unattended cooking fires. We put some on the stove and we forget.
Yeah.
So by then you walk away, you forget, something boils over, and then it starts on fire. But having an alarm right there, I'm able to remind myself.
Tell me about that 10-year. I don't know about that.
So there's new batteries. So some of the new smoke detectors,
right?
Yeah, they're 10-year batteries. Yeah. So you don't have to do anything. You just install them. But what I do, and again, I recommend, especially for seniors, don't put them on the ceiling. Don't have them put on the wall. Put them on a shelf.
Where you can reach it.
Put where you can reach it. And
so
the only
much smarter.
So
it's annoying as heck. All of a sudden, in the middle of the night, you hear beep. The battery's going beep.
But if you change your clock, change your batteries, then you also, but if once a year you go to a store and you grab 6 batteries and you go in and you every one of your smoke alarms, then you get ahead of that problem.
Yeah, but what you're saying is put them on the wall. Fine. I have to get on a ladder. That's not good.
No,
either.
you don't
So
wanna
what
do
I
that.
would say is once you have that issue, so either you have somebody that comes in and is able to put that on there, but what I would do is just take a smoke alarm and put it on a shelf. I have some in my closets just on a shelf, so I can reach them. I do have to laugh though. Occasionally something will happen, but I would say ask for smoke alarms, ask for
Carbon monoxide.
Also ask for, non-slip rugs, ask for bathroom things that are, safer.
Ask for
Ask
some grab bars or
ask
whatever.
for grab bars and maybe some motion activated lights for your house. So inside you're able to see, even though that might be an issue.
Yeah, I have those
Linda,
motion activated lights when you walk
Mhm.
up my stairs at night. They light up. And it's so important.
Absolutely.
One little slip. My dog could be there and I wouldn't even see the dog.
Yep.
Right.
So there's some great gifts that you can get. And I would say ask, go and ask your kids, hey, listen, here's a couple of things that I really need.
Yeah, and they'll be
So-
happy because they don't know what to get you.
They don't know
either.
what to get you.
If you just tell them. Well, thanks so much for being with me today, ladies. I appreciate you as always. Go to my website, lindaburhans.com, nominate someone for the caregiver contest. Takes you like 3 minutes. Every single person that gets nominated receives a gift from me. And then once a quarter, we pick out one main winner. And it's just random because you're all winners to us. And you get a gift basket with a massage and a facial and Amazon cards and a whole bunch of really good stuff. So please let a caregiver know how much you appreciate them, because we always ask them how their loved one is. And sometimes we forget to ask them. So tune in next week for another wonderful show. Remember, God loves you all the time, and have a delicious day.